Hello, this is Justin Seven with SportsbookReview.com. I'm going to talk a little bit about Notre Dame's matchup last weekend against Stanford and then what to expect against UNC this weekend. The statistics from the Stanford-Notre Dame game were a little bit unusual. Let me show them to you and tell you why it's weird. Stanford had nearly twice the rushing yards that Notre Dame did, averaging 4.5 yards a rush compared to Notre Dame's only 3.1 yards a rush. Normally when you have a lopsided statistic where one team is rushing the ball much better than the other, that team usually wins. So what happened here? Well, Notre Dame is taking some chances on their defense, which makes the statistics look a little bit odd. Notre Dame's base defense is a 4-3, 4 linemen, 3 linebackers, and most of the time they're running a cover 2, which means the safeties are always staying deep, and anytime a wide receiver goes deep, it's double coverage on that receiver. This does a fantastic job of stopping the deep pass, but it leaves some other vulnerabilities. The other thing you're frequently seeing Notre Dame do is their 3 linebackers are dropping back into coverage. So there's often a 7 or 8 yard gap in the middle. When you have this kind of gap, if they run the ball and you have no blitzing linebackers, you're going to get between 5 and 10 yards every time you do that. This is part of the reason it looks like Notre Dame's giving up a lot of rushing yardage. Now this alone is not necessarily a bad thing, as long as they mix it up. What you'll sometimes see Notre Dame do, especially on the first downs, will be to do a run blitz. Instead of the linebackers dropping into coverage, you're crowding the line of scrimmage with 6 or 7 guys, and when you guess right, you stop their running. And if you look at last week's game against Stanford, over two-thirds of the time that Stanford ran the ball, they got 5 yards or less. So Notre Dame's doing a pretty good job of guessing when to do a run blitz. The whole goal when you do a run blitz on first down, your object is to put the offense into a situation where they're passing the ball when you have 7 backs in coverage. Anytime you throw the ball into 7 backs defending, bad things happen. Either interceptions or incomplete passes, or you're getting 3rd and long, which is just as bad. Now if you run a drop 7 coverage on first down and they run the ball, maybe they get another first down. But by blocking the deep threats, you're giving yourself lots of opportunities to gamble. If they get 15 yards and you still have another 4 or 5 chances to gamble. But if they get one deep pass, drive over. Now the one area you have seen Notre Dame occasionally get beaten is when they have everyone dropping. When you have dropping into coverage and you have a short pass. So you have a pass, a slant underneath the linebackers. That can cause problems. So 2 things I'd say Notre Dame might want to think about doing, and that's mix up their coverages a bit more, and second, be willing to blitz the safety once in a while. I mean, they've done a great job of keeping the deep passes out, but you're going to have trouble stopping the run if you don't play a little bit more aggressively against the run sometimes. So what does Notre Dame need to do to beat North Carolina this weekend? Well, if you look at North Carolina's statistics, they have a pretty balanced attack. They're an average rushing team, somewhat better than average passing team. The key for Notre Dame to beat North Carolina will be on first down. They cannot give up 5 yards a rush on first down. If they can keep the average first down play at under 5 yards, they're going to put North Carolina into a position where they have to pass into their pass defense. If North Carolina is passing into Notre Dame's drop 7 coverage, there's going to be problems for North Carolina. Offensively, Notre Dame has not been able to run the ball all year. I don't expect them to be able to run the ball, and they're going to pass into a very tough pass defense. The offensive key of the game will be for Notre Dame Clawson to throw 2 or fewer interceptions. If he throws 3 or more, they're probably going to lose the game. The current spread right now is North Carolina favored by 8 points. This suggests Notre Dame has about a 25% chance of winning. And unless something changes drastically between now and this weekend, I think that's a pretty good prediction. That's all for now. If you have any other questions, feel free to send me an email at justin@sportsbookreview.com.